clear. Let's do the three things. 1, 2, 3. One is how to get quickly to our first step, which is building the front end. Front end we are building in Claude Code. So Claude Code has become much fun now because we have this app now. Earlier, I used to show Visual Studio Code, which people look at me and thought that, I'm a I'm coming from a different planet. But you can install the Claude app. This is the same app that you are doing chit chat with on your machine. Then you can go to this tab called Claude Code, and this has a new thing, which is you can add a folder. Okay. So I want to build what I'm building. I have written a PRD. I'm a product manager. I know how to write PRDs. That session I will take someday else. But let's say I am building for legal. I talk to customers, and I'm talking to this retail customer in Canada, and they said that they got a new compliance requirement. The compliance requirement is IFRS 16. Anybody knows that? What's that? So I have already, a product manager has given me this folder. In that, they have put a PRD. This is their PRD. And I can just look at that PRD or show you what this PRD does or what this problem is about. So let me quickly show you what our PRD does or what this problem is about. So let's say somebody sends you this PRD and we say, okay, what's happening in this PRD? What problem are we solving? So our input is a PRD from product manager, which hopefully you, but if somebody else gives you a PRD and now you're a full-blown developer, then this is the problem we are solving. The problem is, hey, we have in-house legal and finance teams, and we got a new audit requirements of IFRS 16. Go ahead. I think somebody wanted to explain IFRS 16.
Financial something.
That was very, very detailed. That was very, very helpful. Like, is this financial something? So the problem is the IFRS is the International Financial Reporting Standards. That's what IFRS stand for. So that investors across different countries can actually follow one standard for reporting, and we can evaluate their numbers and make investments. Good. So that's how the world works today for finance. Every company has to do reporting, and there is IFRS is a standard to do reporting of their numbers, their debt, their revenue, their profits. Good. Now, IFRS 16 specifically is a new compliance requirement. What it is that what people used to do is, all the Elon Musks of the world used to do is that they can take a plane on lease, and if you take it on a lease, you don't show it as a debt on your balance sheet. So if I bought a plane, I have to show it that, hey, I have a debt in my, or I paid for this. It should be removed from my revenue. But if I lease the same, then I need not to report it to my annual reportings. That means I can have the plane. It's actually, let's say I make $1 million and I'm paying 100K each month for this plane. My reporting will be $1 million. If I buy the plane for million, my reporting is I made $0. So what companies were doing is they were actually going and leasing everything and not buying, showing large profits while they have a lot of debt in their system. So that they are keeping it's very hard for an investor to make investment. So this requirement made sure that if you are leasing anything, then you have to report your leases also in your financial reports. It was done for the big guys, but it created problems downstream for everybody. So now if you're a store, if you're a company, if you lease anything, you have to also report your numbers in this standard to the auditors, which became a pain for back office people. And when I go talk to them, they say, Mahesh, can you build an agent for it? So that's what we're going to do. Here is a PRD. This PRD says that, hey, if I have 10 to 15 active leases, I have to create an IFRS report, compliance report. Today, I'm spending a lot of time. I am the compliance lead. The legal also need to make sure it is done, but the compliance lead actually does the job. and then you have secondary user, which are associates and all. Job to be done is you upload a lease or a contract, you extract the terms from that lease, and then you put it into that reporting format, and then download and submit it to the reporting agencies. Okay? Somebody gave you all these requirements, a PRD. Now, how easy it is to build this stuff? Let's look at that. So if I go in, I took this folder, I go to my Claude Code, and I say, hey, attach a folder here, which is this folder, or you can say a working directory. And I put the whole folder here, and I say open. And then I give you a lab. In that lab, there is a prompt which says that, hey, here's my PRD, create a front end for it. That's pretty much the prompt says. Let's load the prompt so all of you can also see and follow along this lab with me. So if I take you here, this is our lab. Yeah, that's correct. And in this lab, what we are doing is not Claude Code Complete Guide, not Dev Tools, this one. So this is the lab that I'm going to give you to all of you that you can follow along or try after this. In this lab, all you do is you come in and you say, hey, I have this PRD. Using PRD, I have attached here, generate UI mockups for this contract analyzer app, a homepage analysis result, a playbook, and whatever you needed. So you write these prompt and you point it to your Claude Code, and rest Claude Code will take care of. So what I will do is I will take this prompt. I will say, hey, you can attach your PRD file now here and give it context, whatever the product manager gave you. So I attach my file and I say, hey, let's remove this up so all of you can see what I'm doing. So I give this same file, which I was showing you, my PRD file, and I say using this PRD, attach this, create these things. That's it. Using this PRD, using this PRD, using the PRD, I have attached here, generate UI mockups for this contract analyzer app, create homepage, upload analysis results, clean minimum HTML. HTML and CSS are the technologies used to build front end. So now if you know front end, you know how to write this. If you don't write, it will create something random. But now you can also guide it better. And once you do that, it will get to work. Pretty much that's all you need to do on the front end side. To get started, we will come back to it, let it run for 2 minutes, but I will show you, I have already built it and it takes like 10-15 minutes. So maybe I will show you two more steps that you need to do to build your front end. But that's pretty much it. You can point to your PRD and give it a prompt, which is as simple as this. This is what I want the homepage to look like. This is the technology I want to use. And here is a screenshot if you want to uh, put screenshot and functional enough to hand off to a developer. You're just building the basic stuff. And we will make it complex in a second. But first build the basic, make sure you got the basics right. Okay, then what about the back end? We talked about two things, front end and back end. So this is the front end going here. So let's build the back end. And we said for back end, let's use n8n because n8n makes it easy, or n8n is a simple way to build stuff. So let's say now I want to build stuff in n8n. I can code in Claude Code, but I thought it will be easier or faster to build it, and it will be more structured. So I can start building agents. I need an agent which actually takes this contract file now in the backend and actually process the contract, extract the files, extract the terms for me, show the user clauses and all. So I will start building the backend side of it. Here you can just say agent and you will build along with me. So here you go and say agent. It gives you an AI agent. You change nothing. You take the chat input as is for the time being. And then you say, yeah, this looks cool. Let's just close it. And you got an agent. So now I'm building a chat based. Anybody can chat with it. And I will show you how to expose this to the world. So very simple. Then it's asking you a chat model. Now you can select any chat model, we will say OpenAI. Chat model, you can select which model you want. GPT-5, you need to connect your account for the first time, but that's pretty much it. Okay, I created a model, I created a chat, I can connect memory. Memory means that it will remember the conversations that I'm having, but this much is all I need. I have a backend that's up and ready. Then what I can do is I can say, hi, I am teaching this course. Please tell me top of mind things for in PMs in 2026 in AI space. Great. My chat goes, it shows me how to do debugging. It takes the chat, it sends it to the agent. Then you can look at this and see what the output, which is executing. But once it executes, you will see. Then it shows you that it routes this to this model and what it sent to the model, the input and output you can see also here. You think this will be cool? Will it work? It worked. And now I can debug it. I can see that I have three components on my backend today. I have a chat component which takes user chat. I have an agent and I have a model. And I can debug it by seeing what was given to the model agent, what was passed to the model or OpenAI, and what was the response. And as it becomes complex, I can continue going and debug more. Can I ask it a date today? Will it work? Hi. Anyone? No? Yes? Maybe?
No, yes.
They built something in agent, so my guess is it will find it out. But your answer is right. It says it's May 1st, 2026, because n8n makers kind of built a system prompt which said, hey, you can just figure it out. If it's date, then do this. And these model providers also have behind the scenes now agents running, so they are also routing it to their best APIs. But if I tell it something that, hey, now I ask it, hey, what was the question I asked? Who am I? Who am I teaching today? Teaching these days? Do you think it will answer that question? Remember, I talk about that?
Yes.
No,
You
you don't
think
have
so, huh?
memory yet.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
half of you say yes, half of you say no. Now I'm debugging and testing. So I can do all the testing here in like 5 minutes, you can see. And now it says, oh, actually, do you mean right now, this week semester, these days more loosely? Also, when do you want to check your calendar? Now you have completely screwed up this whole thing. Has no clue what you're talking about. And by the way, I
Sorry,
clearly said it.
w-
I
one
am teaching
question.
this course. Please tell me. Go ahead.
For the Open AI chat model, it does it's able to tell you the date because it has its own RAG, or so
No,
that
there
means
is like, no, it
you
doesn't
do
have
not
its
have
own
to
RAG.
add
It's
RAG.
still, yeah, at this point, you need not to add RAG. The AI agent provider, there is a system prompt behind the scenes which has told it, or this API on the AI side has given it little intelligence that people ask these questions, then do the reasoning layer. And the reasoning layer has this agent SDK, maybe that. But if you take the vanilla API, it won't be able to answer that question also. It will give you a date in past. But because
Okay.
n8n also is coming in and wrote a system prompt which might have given it a reference to a tool, and with that tool, it is fetching that. How can I fix the memory piece? That if I tell it something it can remember, then I can add memory. I can just add simple memory, and now it will remember context length of 5. That means 5 conversations. It will remember things. Good. So now if I say, hey, the same thing again, or let's use something easy. Say, my name is Mahesh. I worked at all man companies except Google, except Apple. Man companies except Apple. And if I ask it which companies, uh, what's my name, will it answer it?
Yes.
Why? Now you can see it also. It goes and it extracts it from the memory. So first the agent goes, checks with the model, but the model says, oh, maybe I need more context. And it asks, what is my name? And the memory says, your name is Mahesh. And that's what I got here. It came from the memory, not from the model. And this is how you can build. Can I build many agents? One agent is cool, but having many agents will be cool. So maybe this agent handles my life, this agent handle other things. So you can add multiple agents by just clicking here and saying agent. And when you click agent, you can say agent as a chat, not chat trigger. Let's just go and change it to say, hey, agent as a tool. Maybe when I connect it, then I can change it. AI agent. I can connect it here and I can talk. Now I have a multi-agent, which this agent can go and talk to this agent and this agent. Or I can also connect it as a tool. If I don't want it, I can also call this agent from this agent when I need it. So that's the second AI agent as a tool. That's what it was giving me. So if I don't want, so this is very simple architecture. I can connect this agent here, but then I have to collect it like an AI agent as a tool. And if I do that, then I can have multi-agent architecture. So now an agent can also call another agent. Good. So these are basics of n8n that you can use to build agents. So I use these basic agents and I created an agent for myself, which agent is a multi-agent workflow. What it does is it's similar. Instead of chat, I am processing a file. That also you can find from here. So I took my first agent and what I did is I said, hey, Mr. Agent, your name is orchestration agent. This agent job is to extract the terms from the contract. There is memory attached to it where it can store these extracted results. I can also get what I need from the lease in playbook or rule book or some kind of rules. That's another agent. So you can ask different questions. Maybe you can just use lease agreements, master service, NDA. So this one tells me that which terms needs to extract, and this one goes and extract the terms from the contract. This is what we are building, by the way. So now our front end is ready. We have our ready audit ready dashboard. Here we can send the file from. So I can upload a file from here and I can extract and analyze those files and analyze the contract and create a report. This will come here. Then first it will say what type of contract. And based on that, it will say, hey, okay, let's extract these terms and then respond. Good. I know I didn't say that you can ask me questions, but overall, this idea is looking good that I have this UI. I can play these things. I can set up these playbooks and all. I created it with just prompt and passing my PRD. And then I created the backend in n8n. Once you have your backend ready, then you can go and iterate on your front end. So what I did is I created this front end first, like you just saw. Then I said, you know what? Let's make it better. I gave the second prompt and it's part of the lab where I said connect a database to it. Make sure you can take these kind of documents. On submit button, do this, and then fetch the data and also put it into this database of whatever value you are getting for future debugging. And then I have the third step where I go connect the backend with the front end. This is the cool step. So this is your own world right now. And this app doesn't know how to talk to this backend. For that, all you have to do is you go to execution, you go to your editor, you click this publish button. And once you publish it, and you click on this webhook, you get this URL. This is where you can send your post requests. Good. So this is the address where we are waiting to run this backend code. And now any front end whether you build it, I build it, or anybody who has this address can send the contract and get a response from this backend. So all I'm doing is, then I'm saying, okay, the UI is done on the front end. Let's send this post request to this URL, which is same as this here. And that is it. Once this is stitched, then I go to customize here and I publish my app, because this app is still on my PC, so you can't use it. But then I can go to connectors and I can connect Netlify. So Netlify is a tool which you can connect, which will take your front end application and host it as a website. And it was very simple. It's in the lab. You just have to click a button, create an account, and that's it. Once the connector was connected, I went back again and I said, you know what, this is cool. Then, so from here, I went ahead and I say, deploy this app on Netlify and give me production ready website that I can publish for customers. This is my fourth prompt. And then I got this link. By the way, this link is live. You can use it right now. And all of you, I can give it on chat and you can try it. So you can start giving this app to your customers. And this is connected to your backend, which is what I was showing you on the right-hand side. So now what I can do is I can send, or any customer can send this data to my backend and I can start seeing what is happening. I can also look at who's sending what. So let's try it. So what I do is I go here, let's upload a simple agreement like NDA contract. I can upload it. I can say analyze contract or extract terms from it. It sends this file. And if you go to execution, you see that a job just came in at 9:51 and it's getting executed. Once it's executed, you can also debug it. You can see what happened, if something failed, why it failed, and all that. And all this is visual. And this is what I was explaining to you, that that's why I love n8n for first time builders, that all this can be done in, obviously I'm doing a lot of this beforehand, but this is as simple as this. And now it succeeded and I can get my results and I can display it here. And now I can do front end with just writing English prompt. And if somebody says, hey, you know what, we want to build this new thing, give me risk also in this lease, then I can add another agent for risk. And now I can start responding to risk and start handling it. So then you can also create this generate IRF. So you can have the reports. I also created leasing portfolios, how many leases we have, what is the total assets, so I can track it. If something need attention, then I can look at it. So now you are into this builder mode and you can start building, staying unbounded. So that was pretty much I wanted to talk today. So what I talked about is all in this lab. And this lab walks you through step by step on how to build the front end and back end for what I talked about. There's another lab that we are going to give you today, which is this lab which sets up your tools, like how to build GitHub, how to build Visual Studio, basic tools that you need to become a builder. This lab walks you through that. And once you have done these two labs, then this lab actually pushes you to do more, which is also automatically updates and improves its quality with you in loop. This is for advanced, but first do the first two labs, and I think you will be good. Just to summarize, these are the 4 tools that you might need or you need to learn as you become builder PMs. Colabs is for data processing, n8n for creating automation layers or backends, Lovable for creating just prototype or front ends. Claude Code is everything for you. And this is what you can start learning today with just building front ends. And maybe once you mature, you can take your backend also, which we will be giving a lab. If you're joining our new cohort, we will show you a lab where you can take this. Once it is start running in production, you can take this JSON file, download this JSON file, which it gives you a flow of how it's structured and what these component. And then we will build the backend in Claude Code as well, which somebody was asking, and then you can publish it. I know I said I will be done at 9:45, but the fun part of me is that I want to land things, and sometimes that takes me over. But that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. These are all our labs. This is your This is your stack. First, I explained you why or what the developer actually go do. They do three things. Either they are writing front end or back end code, or managing databases, or actually doing CI/CD or pushing their code or pulling or reviewing somebody code. That's their job. That's everything pretty much broadly they do. Then I showed you how easy it is to build front ends in Claude Code and backend in n8n and connect them to build apps that actually go to production and people can touch, feel, and use, give you feedback, and you can iterate on your own. And then I am here to take some questions or talk about real use cases. I did this session with Akash. Here is a video where I talk about these scenarios and shared even more uh, context. We are starting our next cohort. So if you want to go build a lot of cool stuff, you can join our next cohort. Uh, Next session is about V0. V0 wanted to sponsor a session on with top instructors. So I wanted to do that for them. So we will talk more about how to use V0 as a development angle and build in V0 and also iterate on V0 and build on top of what we built today. That's our session next time. And if you want me to invite you to these sessions regularly, just sign up on our uh, Substack. Substack is where we will be building this community going forward. So please join our Substack and we will continue to invite you automatically